Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niya bidvaro. Divine manifestation. The Holy One, blessed be He, has any number of names. All of these names, however, designate only various aspects of divine manifestations in the world. In particular, as these are made known to human beings. Above and beyond this variety of designations is the divine essence itself, which has not and cannot have a name. We call this essence, or God in Himself, by a name that is itself a paradox. The infinite, blessed be He. This term then is meant to apply to the divine essence in itself, which cannot be called by any other name, since the only name that can be applied to the very essence of God must include both the distant and the near, indeed everything. Now, as we know, in the realms of abstract thought, such as mathematics and philosophy, infinity is that which is beyond measure and beyond grasp. While at the same time this term is limited by its very definition to being a quality of something finite. Thus, for example, there are many things in the world, such as numbers, that may have infinity as one of their attributes, and yet also be limited either in function or purpose in their very nature. But when we speak of the infinite, blessed be He, we mean the utmost of perfection and abstraction. That which encompasses everything and is beyond all possible limits. The only thing we are permitted to say about the infinite, then, would involve the negative of all qualities. For the infinite is beyond anything that can be grasped in any terms, either positive or negative. Not only is it impossible to say of the infinite that He is in any way limited or He is bad, one cannot even say the opposite, that He is vast or He is good. Just as He is not matter, He is not spirit, nor can He be said to exist in any dimension meaningful to us. The dilemma posed by this meaning of infinity is more than a consequence of the inadequacy of the human mind. It represents a simply unbridgeable gap, a gap that cannot be crossed by anything definable. There would therefore seem to be an abyss stretching between God and the world, and not only the physical world of time, space, and gravity, but also the spiritual worlds, no matter how sublime, confined as each one is within the boundaries of its own definition. Creation itself becomes a divine paradox. To bridge the abyss, the infinite keeps creating the world. His creation is not the act of forming something out of nothing, but the act of revelation. Creation is an emanation of divine light. Its secret is not the coming into existence of something new, but transmutation of the divine reality into something divine and limited, into a world. This transmutation involves a process. Or a mystery, or a contraction. God hides Himself, putting aside His essential infiniteness and withholding His endless light to the extent necessary in order that the world may exist. Within the actual divine light, nothing can maintain its own existence. The world becomes possible only through the special act of divine withdrawal or contraction. Such divine non-being or concealment is thus the elementary condition for existence, which is of that which is finite. Still, even though it appears as an entity in itself, the world is formed and sustained by the divine power manifested in this primal essence. The manifestation takes the form of the 10 Sefirot, fundamental forces or channels of divine flow. And these Sefirot, which are the means of divine revelation, are related to the primary divine light as a body is related to the soul. They are in the nature of an instrument or a vehicle of expression, as though a mode of creation in another dimension of existence. Or the 10 Sefirot can also be seen as an arrangement or configuration resembling an upright human figure, each of whose main limbs corresponds to one of the Sefirot. The world does not therefore relate directly to the hidden Godhead, which in this imagery is like the soul in relation to the human semblance of the Sefirot. Rather, it relates to the divine manifestation when and how this manifestation occurs in the 10 Sefirot. Just as man's true soul, his inapprehensible self, is never revealed to others but manifests itself through his mind, emotions, and body, so is the self of God not revealed in his original essence, except through the 10 Sefirot.